Are you tired of drinking alone, or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's, where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colourful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins. Unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota.
I was muted, but I just unmuted myself just in time. That's right, we're here, and some bombshells dropped tonight. It's someone described it, I think, last stream as a disaster advent calendar, and that's pretty much how I would explain things. This is Keanu, and she's a rat. She's a rat. And she keeps switching sides. First, she's anti-Aaron, and then she was pro-Rekieta. Now she's pro-Aaron again, but she's dropping all the gossip. But we got more. We got more than that today. We're going to take a look at the Ethan Ralph Warren conspiracy theory. That's an interesting one. Also, Tiny Gray says, like the stream. That is true. You should like the stream as we get into this. So I think what we'll do is we'll warm up with this clip. It's a 2-minute clip from, I guess it's Happy Birthday, Keanu. Good for her. Then we're going to take a look at some seething on Twitter. Then we'll take a look at the Ralph stuff, and then we'll go into the Aaron going to the cops and the Rekieta stuff and everything, and then that'll be the show. But be sure you like everything, and let's see what Keanu had to say on her. I apologize, you. There's going to be a lot of rats and snakes tonight. Let's see what she had to say. Let me know how the audio sounds as well.
Nick has lost his fucking mind, as if it weren't already fucking lost.
Yes, very bold, very bold.
All he's going to do is drag her down with him. And it's a very difficult thing to say to somebody that's in love with somebody, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, April is stupid. You can't even just call it stupid. That's just far too generous. She's going down with the ship. But there is a way out. There's a life raft if she wants it. And we'll talk about that a bit later. But let's continue.
This man has been arrested for child neglect. Having guns around children, drugs around children. They had a battering ram go into the door. I don't know if you guys remember.
This is the first I've heard about that. This is very, very interesting, salacious stuff. Let's continue.
But that's what happened, all right? But I've always been ride or die. I am there for my...
She was ride or die until there was potentially more viewers. By A-Log and Nick, right? Then going back to the toe, ride or die for the toe, and now you're back sucking the big toe. Is that what's going on, Keanu?
Friend April, I get it, but I'm so glad that she is talking to me once again, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, because you're going to tell all the secrets. You know what? It's perfectly fine with me too. Just tell everything. Why not?
But at some point, you do have to go. And I told her. We've been talking on the phone at length, and I said,
I told you, honey, don't trust that man.
I'm not saying this man can't get his shit together.
Let's see on cats.
But do you think he has his shit together? Also, you're living in the house that is for sale on his property.
Do you think that April comes with the house? Is that why they had to knock down the price for another $25,000?
She's a kind soul. Okay. April, Imholte, kind soul, much like me. But sometimes you need a little bit of tough love.
There we go. Ceiling cat's back. There you go.
I don't know what it's going to take. I hope they lock Rekieta up and throw away the key for his alleged crimes. Okay. Just for the sole fact, I don't give a fuck about him or his wife,
Fucking Tiny Gray, like tricking me with Simpson memes. Okay.
who I don't know either of them, but he's a monster and an idiot. And I hate that she's sitting there without internet for 6 fucking months. Okay.
This is the biggest
Nick is-
bombshell of this like entire clip. So as it'll come out. I guess I'll show you this part now. Breaking Balldo News says in the latest Keanu C. Thompson. That's a big C. Why is the C the only thing capitalized in that name? That's weird. Keanu Live 77, a pop-up birthday stream. She completely flips on April and Rekieta, exposing intimate private details such as confirming that she's still living next door. Another lie exposed. And the really interesting thing here is that apparently April has been living in the trap house for 6 months with no internet. All she does is watch TV on her phone and waits for Nick to call her, waits for the text, because apparently she's not allowed in the big house while Kayla's there anymore. And whenever Kayla goes out shopping, he rings up the second bitch to come in and have fun with him or something. Or maybe he goes down there. We don't know. What a pathetic way to live. Holy shit. This really goes a lot to explaining the unhinged tweets that we've been seeing on Twitter, because I know a lot of people have been like, is this Nick? What's going on here? It's all really weird. Look, this makes perfect sense. He's just been isolating this woman from all their friends and family, taking her away from the internet, and then just driving her mad by ignoring her. That's the one way to drive a woman mad, is just ignoring her. But we'll take a look at the longer clip later on. Let's go on to some seethe, because I think that's what people like to see. That's what they like to see, right? So, unfortunately, this post is not available. So this is Nick's tweet to Andy Warski, where Andy Warski said, "Hey guys, I survived another year of being sober. Good for me." And everyone's like, "Yeah, good for you, Andy." Everyone's like, yeah. Then Nick was like, "Why don't you die, Warski care?" And everyone was ratioing him. He was looking like a fool. And he's just exposing that he's like a bitter, lonely, jealous man that is very, very much just seething in the dark in Minnesota. As the winter months are coming in, it's getting colder. But that was actually, apparently that violated Twitter's rules. So even Elon Musk is now felting him as well. Embarrassing. The post has violated X's rules. Even in Trump's America, Nick can't get a break. But that's the tweet that Nate was responding to. He said, "Wow, just wow." Now I should have set this up correctly, so I can just press back. Yep. This is a bit of a Twitter seethe back and forth going between Nate the lawyer and Rekieta. And you may remember from previous streams that Nick is very grumpy at Nate because Nate exposed that Nick had made nebulous promises to deliver nice things to people that showed up on his streams. Not money, though, so technically he didn't promise money. That's true. But he did say he was going to reward them since he was making a Nissan Sentra of super chats a day. Nick responded to him saying, "Wow is right, Nate. It's amazing when you think someone is a friend and they publicly proclaim their jealousy of your money. Then they spread the lie about you at the same time. Kind of a shoot move, dog." Now, Nick is... he grew up around black people. He knows how they talk. That's why he included that. You may remember his white bread ass encounter with Eric July. I think Nate responds to this saying, "I just think it's either a bad joke or lack of judgment. I didn't lie about you, nor am I jealous of your success. That must be the coke talking. Focus, felony drug trial, then Twitter. In that order." That's good advice. Rule 1. Nate also says as well, "Don't get high off your own supply." And then the people who told you didn't follow through with some form of appreciation of the streams have now said so publicly. So either they were lying or you are. Is there more to this? There is. Look at that. "Everyone who was on those streams got a ton of subs or money if they were on social media. The people who weren't, I reached out to personally." Then what did you give them? What do you mean you reached out to them? Hey, thank you. "Sorry for the super chats and invites to big streams. I guess it wasn't good enough." "Sorry, Coke logic confuses me," Nate responds. "Your beef seems to be with people who claim you didn't come through. You never promised anything to me, and I was grateful to be on the streams. So why are you mad at me?" Interesting. Good question. "Rocket launching multiple careers with 6-figure incomes wasn't enough. Amazing. I gave everyone on those panels the literal opportunity of a lifetime for a streamer. I asked for nothing. in return? Well, except for 8 hours of free work every day for about 6 weeks, and I think longer than that, actually, if you consider all the different trials. Now, did Nick create several people with 6-figure incomes? Yeah, I think he did. I really think he did. Now, of course, having the opportunity for success is not the same as doing the work yourself. Just going on Nick's stream would not make you successful. These people had to do their own streams. They had to put in the work. They had to put in the hours. And a lot of them had different ways that they grow. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they did get sick. Let's say this is all true. Let's say this is all true. He gave multiple people 6-figure incomes. He said that he was going to compensate them in some way because he brought in over $20,000 a day. A day during these times. Like, this was insane. $1.4 million in super chats. And he said, live on air and allegedly behind closed doors, I'm going to find a way to make this up to you. I'm going to give you something, like I'm going to contact you all. I'm going to compensate you. He didn't say money on stream. He didn't say money on stream. But when you make a promise, it doesn't matter if you just, well, you know, I did make you a promise, but then you won the lottery, and I don't think I should be responsible for that anymore. It doesn't seem right, does it? So it's completely irrelevant, counselor. I think there was more to this, but let's see. You felt you owed them nothing. In turn, they owe you nothing. Holy shit. Dante the Traveler from the Kino Zone. That's a good comment. I never asked him for anything. Well, so, you know, all that free unpaid work. Lee Lou, with starting the first super chat of the day, says, with $2 Australian, says, Nick doesn't know the meaning of vulnerability. Well, he's got first-hand experience. I think that was the most. There we go. This one, here we go. Here we go with the I made you disloyal YouTubers. How to ask for loyalty without asking for loyalty. I didn't make anyone. I opened a door and did so happily. I had fun sharing an opportunity that was shared with me. That's all. Got to be careful when I click on these replies, because you never know what's going to come up next. There could be a mysterious surprise waiting for me. All right, I found another good one. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this hidden. There we go. Okay. This is a little different than how you started it a week or so ago. Did you promise anyone other than Kurt some sort of thanks and then not deliver? Kurt would have self-yeeted from depression if not for your graces, so that doesn't count. Anyone else though? May I ask? I would love to see anyone I promised anyone. I would love to see anything I promised anyone and didn't deliver. That isn't a 5K's locals gift. Okay, so you only cheated 5,000 people? With 5,002 if we have the clips to go by. That's the order, right? Only just 5,002 people have been cheated out of their promises. Okay. Now, I think I know what the 5K I've got some theories. What do you guys think the 5K local gift was? Because if there was one question that I could ask Nick, then I knew I could get a true answer from, that's what I would ask. I would just ask, what was the 5K's local gift? I think it was just little Law Pope hats. That's my number one theory. But if we do remember, there was a... Wait, let me see. Where was... Sorry. Oh, no, I'm spoiling things. Oh, no, it's a disaster. Unprepared again. All right. No, everything's going wrong. Shit. All right, there it is. So you see here, April did this post from the Trap House. It's literally the Trap House, by the way, because once you get in, you can't leave, because Nick makes sure there's no way to contact the outside world. And but you see in the background, wait a minute, what is that? Enhance. And I think the funny thing is, April said on this one, oh shit. Oh wait, where does it go? Where'd it go? Was it this one? Okay. No, I want to read where's the comment for it? View post. There we go. I don't care how anything sounds. I'm right on the nose. This is how you know she's a crazy bitch, because she keeps linking pictures which have subtle things with Nick in them. This is a post saying, hey, I'm in your second house. Hey, look at that. There's your logo thing behind it. And if you remember, if we go to the Trap House on Zillow, $25,000, the Zestimate is down to $391. There's certainly some zesty times going on this house. If you go into, and I know this house like the back of my hand because I've gone through, I know every single room, nook, and cranny of this house. But if we go into the Trap House, we go over to the kitchen, we zoom in, that is enhance. There you go. You can see that now. That's the same thing. This is probably, unironically, what the 5K, this is either like a funny gift that Kayla gave him or the 5K locals gift. And it's a little sticker that says nose before hose. And you've got like the meme where the guy's turning his head, except he's YouTube, and he's looking towards a nose that's wearing a Pope hat. So this is how we know that Kayla is still inside the trap house. Look at these tiles. Look at these tiles. I recognize the pixels. Look at the dirty wall sockets, the nose, the little cactus thing. I know everything in this house. I know it all. I see everything. Okay. I'm not insane. Megals with 26 months says, still struggling to be a pro YouTuber after 2 years. Kudos. Thank you very much. Cybertask with 2 says, say it ain't so, nose bros. There you go. And Lulu with another. Oh, wait, I read that one already. You got double your value out of that. I guess it must be $2 can Thursdays, right? Thirsty Thursday cans. But we'll come back to the trap house a little bit later on, I think. So where? So only those 5,002 people got cheated out. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But no, I don't believe that. He said, and we saw the clip, he said he was going to promise them to compensate them in some way. And he, in his mind, because he went to their chat and dropped a $20 super dollars, like a big fat $20 super chat, that absolves him of his obligations to these people that actually helped make his career. Because he likes to say, I made you. But they made him too. It was the combination, having all the lawyers together. It was the, what's the word? The synergy of it all, where the two things separately together are greater than their parts. Anyway, there's a bit more kind of interesting ones. Let's see. This was a fun one I found today. Wendy Glow said, I guess this is in response to Nick saying he didn't try and suppress anyone. He said, then what the fuck was your motion to suppress? As your lawyer spelled it, all evidence, including body cam footage. Duh, that was my lawyer. Fuck off. I can't even blame you for lying so badly. Your remaining fans are borderline non-sentient mouth breathers. Holy shit. What a true and honest statement. And then it has a link to the thing. Nick responds saying, that isn't the release of the footage. That's the suppression of the evidence. You do realize I'm going to fight my case, right? Ding, 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 ding. We've got a trial, boys. It looks like Kino's back on the menu. You do realize I'm going to fight my case. Here we go. Where's my fucking train whistle? Here it is. Let's fucking go. Oh my goodness. It's happening, boys. It's happening. It's happening. If he goes to trial, the body cam comes out. It gets entered into evidence, and all of that evidence is public. I guess it could be suppressed, but I don't think so, because they can just blur out the minors, which they should do. I should state. Okay. So there was also, okay, I'll show this one as well. So in regards to this Keanu dropping these tweets today, Pescator on Twitter says, the clash of the Cucks law deepens with Keanu Thompson revealing April Law is living in the balldo bunker without internet for the last 6 months and is in love with rekietalaw. In my opinion, this seems like April approved Keanu to release the info, and I suspect she may be because blah, blah, blah. And it goes on and talks about how April, I forgot to mention this last time, but April actually confirmed that Nick was a cuckold. Of course, we all know it to be true. It's true in our hearts, but it's actually confirmed. And there was these 2 tweets by April. One of them was just after, and it was changed. And some people, and I have the 2 tweets right here. I'm actually prepared today. Look, this is the first one. This is the second one. This is the second one. Look at that. Look at that. But we'll read and compare these first. So the first one is, ask April Law. I was never in either side of the cuck equation, but someone else. So in regards to Aaron. So he's saying, well, Aaron's the cuck, not me. But look at this important part. Ask April. Okay, that means whatever April says is okay to be said, right? April responds saying, Nick would never do that to another because he knows how awful it felt to have his partner do it to him and not have a care in the world what it would do to him or his marriage. Which means April is admitting that Kayla cucked him with Aaron or with more men. We don't know. But I would suggest it's probably not their first rodeo. But Nick said, ask April. Okay. How'd that work out for you? How did it work out? Holy shit. Now, Nick must have sent her an angry sour text because this is the replacement. Oops, not that one. Sorry. That one's for later. Oh, shit. All right. I got to get it back now. I think it's just this way, right? Okay. So this is the revised tweet. Now, I think that both copies of these tweets are still up. They're both still up. So technically, when Nick says, I did not make her change any of her tweets, that is technically true. Good job there, counselor. But that's because she issued a new tweet. She didn't alter the cheat. She just put out a new version of it. All right. So the new version reads, just so you know, Nick, I'm not into it either from either side. I would never do that to you because I love you and I give a shit about how my actions make you feel. We should only be doing the things that are cool with, so we don't hurt each other. Fun exists on our terms. So there you go. But nobody cares about that because the important one is that Nick knows the pain of being cut by his partner. I mean, there it is. He said, ask April Law. Well, she responded. Not sure how that worked out, but very interesting. Very interesting. All right. We'll go to the Ralph section. So last time I did mention this, and I thought it was like a funny thing, but it's actually funnier. And there's actually a little bit of a conspiracy theory in it as well that I didn't realize until it was kind of brought to my attention. So this is Ethan Ralph, the fugitive. So let's take a look at all the documents this time. I'm going to go through and have a bit of theory crafting. Yes, the Ralpha mail. The Ralpha mail's on deck. SoCal Chris also with 26 months says, putting your imaginary kids through college. You're welcome. Thank you very much. You are with all those 26 months of membership. The longest first member and longest member. Case information. And there we have the active case. It is an active warrant in the state of Minnesota versus Ethanol Liver Ralph in the criminal and I don't know what is traffic. I don't know. Mandatory. Stearns County. Let's go and see what we can find. Let's see what we can find. The fugitive. Ethan Ralph in the 7th District Court. The complaint submits the complainant submits this complaint to the court and states that there is a probable cause to believe the defendant committed the following offenses. Charge: contempt of court, willful disobedience to court mandate. Minnesota Statute 588.20.24, with reference to another state. Maximum sentence, 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine. Level offense, misdemeanor. Now, it's interesting to point out. I'm just going to say it's a misdemeanor. It's not a big deal, right? 90 days in jail it's not great. It's not great, but it's not terrible, right? Charge description: that the defendant, Ethanol Liver Ralph, then and there being committed contempt of court by willful disobedience of the law, process, and other mandate in the court than the conduct described in subdivision 1. All right, well, let's see what they say. He will wiggle out of it. Look, I was walking through town today, and I posted this in my Discord. But if you join as a member, you get access to the Discord. You go over to the community tab. There's a private invite link that the members should be able to see. But I was walking through Osaka today, and I saw this sign, the Kitamoto camera, tax-free. And I was just like, everything reminds me of her. Anyway, let's see. On September 25th, the Stearns County Sheriff Office began an investigation regarding contempt of court that occurred on September 3rd. It was reported that Ethan Ralph, oh, look at that. Ethan Ralph is 1 year older than me. I thought he was like 40 something. Okay. Well, I mean, it's pretty close. It's like 39, right? He did record a court proceeding despite the judge's warning that it was prohibited by the rules that would complaint in contempt of court. Yes. So when the court started, they say you're not allowed to record or rebroadcast this. Upon review of the defendant's Rumble page, how do people keep self-snitching? It's amazing. Amazing. It shows that the video is approximately 1 hour and 49 minutes long. The video contains a live stream of the court proceedings of September 3rd. In the recording, the Honorable Laura Morrill on the record stated, while this is a public hearing pursuant to the General Rule of Practice 4.01, there is to be no recording of any court proceedings. Any violation of this court rule that no recording should be taken of this proceeding is punishable by contempt of court, including jail sanctions. While the judge was giving the warning, defendant says, I didn't hear that. I don't fold the bullshit. He also says, I'm not recording it. Well, I mean, you are actually live streaming is recording it. It records to a local copy, typically, and also to the site you're doing. So live streaming is actually not a defense for I'm not recording it, Your Honor. Although it actually does work like that in Japan a little bit legally. But I ain't recording shit, Your Honor. Which shows he heard the warning and willfully ignored the judge's mandate that the rule of general practice prohibit recording of court proceedings. The court hearing defendant live streamed and posted the recording that occurred in the city of St. Cloud, county of Stearns, Minnesota. Law enforcement attempted to contact the defendant via phone. They couldn't reach the Mexican payphone in Merida. They've got the one payphone that it keeps ringing, and there's like one guy that's always using it, you know. But they found through the searches, then they found another male answered who knows the defendant. Now, I believe this is Heinous Harry, because Harry Morrison, I think his name, he like tried to make himself a career of being a streamer, but basically his only claim to fame is that Ralph knocked up his daughter. But he has this whole saga with Ralph, but because I don't typically cover that much Ralph stuff, you probably would have to seen it somewhere else. You could check the Kino Casino VODs, I suppose, to find out. But Heinous Harry said that he received a call from Minnesota, and he's posted on Twitter, I believe, saying like, "Well, this explains this explains the call I got from St. Cloud." So that appears to be Heinous Harry striking again. The mail indicated that defendant has been hiding in Mexico due to unrelated issues. The unrelated issues is running away from child support payments, and also, I guess, all of his debtors. And I think he has like tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt as well. But he said he's not going to pay it off. I mean, he'll probably die before he has to. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Law enforcement attempted to email defendant to speak with him further about this incident. Defendant responded and declined to speak to law enforcement. Hey, is this your like? Is this your email? No, this is not Ethan Ralph's email. I refuse to speak to you without my lawyer present. This is not an admission of guilt. So instead of just ignoring the email, like either fess up to it or just like ignore it entirely. But he literally responded to the email, and he said this on his own show and I believe some other shows, that he responded saying that like I'm saying hello to you, but I'm not guilty, and bye bye. Which is completely pointless, but nobody can understand the machinations of the Ralph male brain. He's got so many tortures that he's dancing light years around us, guys. Defendant's whereabouts are unknown. Well, it's somewhere in Merida, but it's in a tin shack. You can probably find it pretty easily. Just look for the one that smells, the extra smelly Mexican shack. While there are indications defendant may be out of the country, at a minimum, it appears he does not reside inside Minnesota. As such, the state is requesting a body-only nationwide warrant. Complaint has reasons to believe and does believe that all of the above information is correct. The above facts constitute your complaint's basis for believing that the above named defendant, or on about the 3rd day of September, committed the offense described herein. Alrighty. Oh, look at that. We've got 10 euros. Hunt down the swine. Well, the thing is, he might have to turn himself in, because it's about to get a little bit more complicated for Ralph. Because, like I said, this is a pretty minor thing, like $1,000 fine, 90 days in jail. He could probably just squeal or wiggle to the defense. Sorry, not the defense, the prosecutor, and rat on Rekieta, and he could probably get away scot-free. But he don't fold the bullshit. That's the thing. He don't fold, but he might have to, because things aren't working out too well for him, as we will see as we go along. So we have some signatures and approvals, electronically signed, not that interesting. And here we have, let's see, finding a probable cause, not too interesting here, but the summons, and we have the warrant. This is the important part. The sheriff of the above named county, or the person authorized to execute the warrant, in order of the state of Minnesota, the defendant is to be apprehended and arrested without delay and brought before the court. If in session, and if not, before a judge or judicial officer of such court without necessary delay, and the warrant is executed. Now, this is what I missed. It's body only, and it's nationwide. And I have to credit Josh Moon of the Kiwi Farms for this, because I was listening to Matty, and I believe actually if you go over to Alyssa Clip's channel, she has a 33-minute segment cut out that explains this in further detail. But, and I have reached out to some legal people to have their advice on this as well. There is this, when you issue a warrant, you can see there's these 3 different boxes. So issue the warrant only in Minnesota. You can execute it in border states. So, for example, if it's like Ralph is, I don't know, Michigan is next to Minnesota, maybe? I don't know. One of those close states, one of those northern weirdo American states, right? So, like, if Ralph was in Minnesota, it would make sense just to issue it from Minnesota. Not too difficult to bring him in. Border state, again, not too difficult to bring him in. It's executed nationwide. So anywhere he goes in America, he will be apprehended. And then the state of Minnesota will be contacted to retrieve Ralph, to paraphrase what Josh Moon said, from, say, California, because he can't fly into the country. Because as another unfortunate event of Ralph's life, he lost his passport. I believe it was in the airport when he went to go see Nick the first time, to go see Nick's arraignment, or no, the omnibus hearing, I should say. So that, I believe that's also where he got his radial nerve palsy, which is why his arm is slightly paralyzed. But I guess it's another win for the Ralph male, because he said they're not going to have to cut off his arm. So it's another W for Ralph. Suffer, A-Logs. I get to keep my hand. I'm going to be able to type and pick up cans and shit. So I guess it's another win for him as well. But anyway, he lost his passport book. Now, that's just your regular what I would just describe as a passport. Now, Ralph has a passport card as well, I believe. And I think this only exists in America. I'm not familiar with it myself. I have personally never seen a passport card. But my understanding of this is that with a passport card, you can do land-based crossings between America, I believe Canada, but also countries like Mexico and the Caribbean. So you could take a boat, you could just drive over, with your Jeep or whatever. You could anywhere except a flight. So that means if Ralph wants to get into America, he either has to go to an embassy, which he may be afraid to now go to an embassy because he may be detained in the embassy if he does go to them. Because when you go to those places and you sign out like your applications, it's like you have to sign the box that says like, are you a felon or wanted for any charges? And he can't check that anymore because he's not. And if they check, they're just going to detain him. So he's only got his passport card. Which means he has to cross in California, essentially. I guess you could take a boat, maybe somewhere else. But yeah, most likely he'll drive to California. Now, as you may remember, he has his son, Xander, who lives in America. And Christmas is coming up. So he's very, very... he wants to go see his son. He doesn't give a shit about his daughter. He has a daughter that he's just completely abandoned. But he does want to go see his son, Xander. That's going to be difficult now, because they may literally just detain him in California and then send 2 deputies, at least a minimum of 2 deputies, to go collect him. So the state of Minnesota wants Ralph so much that they're willing to spend $10,000 to $20,000 of overtime, flights, the two deputies that have to go, like, literally go get him. Like, this is a very serious thing from what I understand. Now, apparently, when I reached out to some lawyers, they said that it's not unheard of to get these nationwide mandates for a simple misdemeanor. But the question does arise. Why would they want Ralph so much? It's just some guy, right? Like streaming out of Mexico. Why would they want him so much? Now, this is what came up to my desk this morning, right? So I kind of missed this last time. I didn't go over it too carefully because, like, it seemed like a funny thing, but not going to be a big deal sort of thing. But I got a message this morning, and they were saying, the message basically said, do you remember when Aaron had his arraignment and you said it was strange that only Ralph had the link? And I thought that was strange because remember, Aaron was getting his arraignment and there was no clean copy. There was no Kiwi farmers that had the link and had a local copy. There was no anybody. Aaron wasn't streaming. I mean, Aaron was busy, I suppose. But the only copy that we could find was the one that was Ralph watching it on the Kel stream from Rumble. So I was like, that's weird. How is Ralph the only one person with this link? I was like, I guess maybe just nobody cares enough about the toe, not as big as he thinks he is or something. But I kind of came to the conclusion that, like, well, this is a link that a couple people would have. Aaron would have it. And surely the victim, the person that lodged the complaint, Kayla Rekieta, as the victim of the disseminated revenge prawn, would probably have a link too. And that since Ralph was in Minnesota talking to Nick and Kayla, he probably just got it from Rekieta. It made perfect sense to me. I was like, yeah, well, they probably just got it from Rekieta. But there is an interesting new conspiracy theory that might be quite serious. That is that maybe since they were tapping Aaron's emails, maybe while they were spying on him, collecting those 38 gigabytes of data they claim to have, or maybe it's all a big work, who knows? maybe they pulled it out of Aaron's emails directly. And that may be why they want Ralph so much. Because if Ralph comes up, and they don't want Ralph, they don't want waste time with him, but they want to know what he knows. They want to see his messages. They want to see where he got the link from. I don't know. It's just a theory, a Coke theory, but it's pretty interesting, actually. It's fun to think about. Because this seems excessive. This seems very excessive. So if there was some potential that they've been spying on Aaron, and if this is true, like, this isn't just like reading someone's emails, right? Aaron and the Rekietas, they're adversarial parties in this. A lawyer spying on the adversary's legal counsels, their court dates, that's a bit spicy. That could be big if true. Yes, indeed, big if, like, really disbarment is on the table for these sort of things. And who knows what else. Like, I think people talked about the various crimes that could be levied, wiretapping, credit card fraud, if they're looking at his PayPal receipts and things like that, digital trespassing. This is not a laughing matter. Like, these are serious crimes. So it is interesting. It is interesting. I don't know if it's true. It's just a theory that was floated. I assumed that typically I think the simplest answer is the best answer. It could be that Ralph was the only person that reached out to the county and got this link. It could be that he just simply got it from Kayla Rekieta. We don't know. But it could be RICO charges, which would be very funny, even though it's never RICO, guys. RICO is like the lupus of the legal profession. It's never lupus. It's never RICO. Cybertaz with a $2 says, Ralph is also ducking a driving while intoxicated civil suit he caused. Is that where he crashed his car? I remember he was streaming when he crashed, right, once. And he also joined as a member and also gifted 5 memberships. Let's fucking go. Thank you for those subs. Much appreciated. Be sure to like the video if you got a sub. Be sure to be active in chat to help you get a sub, those sort of things. It all works like that. But anyway, let's see if there's anything else in the end of this. And he also upgraded his membership to Giga Chad because he's a real Chad. Look at that. And I believe that is everything except for this. Ethan Defendant Fact Sheet. So he was 1985, which would put him at about 39, I suppose. Wait, is that 39? Yeah, 39. So this is his last year as his 30s. He's going to be a 40-year-old man next September. Height, 5'10". This can't be real. They must have added a 0 here. This can't be real. Weight, 245 pounds. That's surprising. That means me and Ralph are basically the same weight. Well, I mean, everyone knows I'm 250, but there you go. Wait, what is that in kilos? What is it? Divided by 2, then minus 10%, right? So that would be what? What is that? 120? No, I'm not that heavy. He's 5'3" max. You got to prove it. 120 kilos. That's about right. Also, that guy with the 10 pounds says, can we get a poll on whether April will eventually Me Too the balldo? He's got her living isolated in a house alone with no internet. Only human she sees is the nose when he's horny. He's so cooked. We're going to talk about that, I think, in just a moment. Not yet. All right. So Ralph has got these after him. Now, we're going to take a quick look at the toe. So Aaron's trip to the police department and April's Twitter collab with Ralph. This is from the 13th. And it's about 10 minutes. We're going to go 1.25 speed, I think. We'll try and get through this a bit quicker. All right, let's see. Let's see what they say about this. This is in regards to the warrant out for Ralph.
I can talk about I can talk a little bit about my day yesterday. I can talk a little bit about what went on yesterday. I know people want to talk about it. I can't really talk about specifics, but I can talk about my day yesterday. Yesterday, I was at the St. Cloud Police Department, voluntarily this time.
How is it possible? Like, how is it possible that all of these people are both victims and complainants? For like, most people go through their entire life without having a single charge, but the people that get like one charge, they go in for like dozens of. They can't get a fucking nut. They just can't. They just love it. They love it. They just get more and more and more. Play Aaron on 2 times speed. I would, but then the people that watch my stream on like 2.5 speed or whatever get annoyed. I care about those replay viewers, provided they like the stream.
Johnny, I've seen the world from both sides now.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you been there enough where they give you like a frequent visitor pass or something?
I have a
Like, kind
punch
of
card. I
like-
got a Danish yesterday. Yeah.
There we go.
I got a cherry Danish.
If you fill out the whole thing, you get a free meal at Denny's.
Yeah, but you know what? But those that give it to you have no idea what you ordered. It's wild.
That's kind of funny. Kind of funny. I like the Denny's jokes. It's pretty. It's just so deep on so many levels.
I went in yesterday, and I spoke with a lovely police officer who was very nice. And even when I was on the other side of the legal system, the officers were insanely nice to me.
Well, you're white.
I know. I really felt that privilege for one of the worst for one of the first times, And so I went in there. I spoke to someone that and at the end, I asked them. I said, "Is what I've shown you? Is what I've talked to you about? Is that a crime?" And they said it does sound like it. So I came home. There was another uploading email type process that I had to go through. I went through that. I took it. I got to tell you, it feels really good today to be free of all that information. If you know what I mean. Like I felt like I was holding on to something really, really valuable, right? But it was really fragile and really breakable. And I'm like, if I drop this, So once I got that all sent off, and I slept like a baby. I slept like a baby after that. So that was my day. I had a few phone calls. It was great.
Wasn't this guy like this is sorry, I'm just getting a little bit distracted, but wasn't this guy like in a red pod before? What happened to that? What happened to his little hyperbaric time chamber he was in before?
And now we move on from there. And that's about it. Like, I don't have any more hot goss for you. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to tell you. That's the way it is.
That's very both enlightening and vague at the same time.
I got to keep it vague. That's why
that is one hell of a needle you've threaded.
I'm a needle threading kind of guy. I'm turning over a new leaf as a needle threading kind of dude. That's what I'm doing. I figured the first carry the one 18 years or so of my career.
Yeah.
I have not been much of a needle threading kind of guy.
No.
And I'm not really as much of a journey guy as I am a destination kind of guy. And the destination is begging on the internet for money. So we're gonna try being a needle threading guy, and you guys can throw us a bunch of 20s, and then I won't worry about sucking shit every morning. How's that? Honky with $1 says, based on her recent schizo tweeting, does sex with Miss Fourth Month count as a 3-way? Look, other people got their own problems. Don't throw other people's problems onto me. No, thank you. I'm good. Thanks. Onward.
I'm dealing with my own life ups. I can't handle other people's.
Oh my God. I don't. I tell you, anytime someone.
This is a brutal 4 minutes so far.
Sends me tweets and says, "Have you seen this?" I just go. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was like, I don't know this person. I was just like, but then it's weird because you talk to other people that you've known for a long time, and they're like, "Oh, we knew this person. We knew this existed." And you're like, "What?" Like, yeah, you had no idea.
Why didn't anyone tell me?
Yeah, like, well, we tried, but then you disowned your family.
I felt like there was more. I felt sure there was more in this clip when I was previewing it. I'm gonna skip through this a bit.
Now with I fucking a Toto shirts.
I'm gonna just
like,
jumping through.
They don't even do that anymore. They just have
today.
Ricky from Trailer Park Boys out.
Okay.
And one thing I did find funny about all the schizo tweeting was that
all right, here we go.
One day, I'm this big, terrible, abusive monster who took her voice away. The next day, it's backpedaling, and no, he never did that. I was hacked. That's what she said. He goes, my Twitter was hacked. No, yes, you're right. Your Honor, my Twitter was hacked by an insane drug addict who was on drugs at the time.
I felt like there was something else I wanted to talk about in this clip, but this is a bit hard to get through. I think I'm going to veto this one, boys. I think we're going to veto this. You can always check this out on Stalin 90's channel. Let me just take at the end part. I think there was something here.
Brain power together.
And even I know that's not a good idea.
All right, never mind. I kind of lost my entire train of thought. Getting sucked into the toe universe. It's brutal. It's brutal clip. All right, we'll get rid of that one. Now, Ethan Ralph is very mad, very, very mad at Aaron in particular. April said, in regards to people were streaming her trial arraignment, she's like saying she didn't know that was happening. Didn't know that he streamed my hearing. What else did I know? But Ethan Ralph was saying, please press charges on this punk. He's trying to keep me from seeing my son for Christmas. restreamed your hearing, which he cried about when it was allegedly done to him, abused you. Ralph Ralph would know a thing or two about abusing people. Please, yeah, sorry. I live in Japan, guys. You gotta give me a drop, give me a bit of slack here. I don't know the statute of limitations or your stomach for it, but it deserves it. Just glad you're in a better place now, regardless of your choice. Now, the interesting thing about Ralph's warrant is that the statute of limitations doesn't run out provided he's outside of Minnesota. So Ralph's warrant is a lifetime, unless he spends like 5 years in Minnesota. But obviously, if he's in Minnesota, how are they going to catch him, sort of thing. But here's the thing. And now I think I remember why I was playing that Aaron clip. It was in regards to this, because it's not that Aaron is pressing charges against Ralph. That's not how this works. Contempt of court. Aaron can't issue you contempt of court. It's the state of Minnesota. Well, the court of Minnesota, St. Cloud specifically, they're the ones that are pressing charges against you and may prevent you from seeing your son for Christmas. But there's an alternative, Ralph. You know, your son could come to Mexico. Just convince your baby mama to bring the whole family down to Mexico instead, right? Now, this is the problem that happens when you abandon the country your daddy gave you to go live in Mexico and eat tortas all day and hang out with well, let's say women of less than reputable morals. This is one of the problems that you can run into. But my advice to Ralph, if he ever was listening, which I don't think he does, would be that it's probably easier to just turn yourself in and rat on Rekieta. They don't want you. They want the big, the head balldo, the chief balldo man. It's going to be harder and harder to live in Mexico because, like I said, he's lost his passport. He's only got his card. He's losing payment processors. You're going to get older. You're going to need medical treatment. You're going to need all these things. And if you can't reissue anything from America, it's going to be a fucking nightmare as you get older, provided you do get older. Maybe be forever young. Who knows? Who knows? So you may as well just bite the bullet and go up to Minnesota and just face the music. But the thing is, he said he can't do that because he's got cats. Now, I thought cats don't fall to bullshit, but he did abandon his cats to tornadoes. But he's afraid if he goes up to Minnesota, and he really said this, is that he's worried about his cats. Those are the only thing he lives for now. Not his son, not his daughter, but those two cats. And I can understand that. Cats are pretty cute. Alrighty. What do we want to do next? I think we'll go into this. No, I think we'll go into the Keanu stuff next. All right. Then we'll. I think this is useful because it kind of gives out more details. We'll go into the Keanu stuff first, and then we'll go into what the implications are. So this is from Alyssa Clip. Says Keanu, Nick and April's dysfunctional relationship, living next door without internet and missed drug tests, which is quite an allegation. Nick Rekieta said he's never lied, and he said he's been doing all of his tests. So let's see what she had to say on her birthday. We'll play this.
Anybody wants to know what's been going on with our dear friend Toe? I have been in contact with April, dearest April, his ex-wife, quite a lot. And I'm not going to ever tell you exactly what she has said.
She's about to say everything, by the way.
But I'm just glad to talk to her. But the gentleman and his wife that she is living next door to, Nick has lost his fucking mind as if it weren't already fucking lost.
So we did see a bit of the preview at the beginning, but there again. So she's saying that she's in direct contact with April. It's the Ape escape arc, but she can't escape. Escape is impossible, but she still lives right next door, and that is in this house. Now, if we go here, I believe. Actually, let's have a look. Let's have a look if we can see. We did do an entire thing. So she's living here. Nick is living here. Remember when Nick said, like, I don't know where April is. I don't know where she is. She could be anywhere. She's right across this short jaunt through the trees, all these deer-filled woods. What another lie. Another lie. She's still in the house. She's still in the second Baldo bunker with the tap water that looks like something out of a Lovecraftian nightmare. We might take another look at that as well. But she's there. That's the first lie. That's the first lie.
And all he's going to do is drag her down with him. And it's a very difficult thing to say to somebody that's in love with somebody, right? And I told her, we've been talking on the phone at length. And I said, I'm not saying this man can't get his shit together. But do you think he has his shit together? Also, you're living in the house that is for sale on his property. And he is now calling him publicly his girlfriend, even though he has a wife whom we haven't heard from.
Quick question. Would you buy a house for $400,000 if it didn't even have internet? Like 6 months without internet, I'd probably just off myself as well.
No idea. Again, I say I spoke with April. She didn't have internet for 8 months. Okay. She said, I finally got internet. I said, what did you do before that?
Now, this is also interesting because you remember that Kayla was at the Spectrum store, which I assume was a store for autists like myself. But apparently April was at the Spectrum store too, and she tweeted about this. This is the thing. This is the thing about having a nightmare ex-girlfriend / mistress in your life, is that as she becomes increasingly unhinged, more of her tweets are directed at Nick to try and get his attention. And so April said on Twitter that she was at the Spectrum store and she saw Kayla, and she uses like, descriptive words. She didn't say Kayla. She says like the mother of your children. I saw the mother of your children, and she ignored me. I was friendly to her, and she pretended I wasn't even there. So it seems like Kayla is the one that's been shutting down the mistress arc, but Nick is just keeping the mistress away from the house. Waits until Kayla falls asleep watching Deep Space Nine or whatever, and then she tiptoes over to the secret house, the trap house, where his mistress awaits, who has nothing to do all day except watch TV on her phone and wait for his calls. Jesus Christ.
She was like, I would just watch TV on my phone and wait for Nick to text me. Emotional and sort of like bizarro abuse, where I want you to be my side piece and live in my, I don't know, what shall we call it, a guest house.
It's the trap
and
house.
Also do all of your court things from my studio where everyone knows that you're there. Everybody online knows. And that's the only time he lets you come over, unless Kayla's out of the house. And then he's like, yeah, pop on by. That no bueno. No bueno.
Like, that is like, have some self-respect, woman. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand how people are so down bad that they're willing to be a second snack. They're willing to be a Dorito left on a table that he might go over and sorry, Kiwi boys. Like, right? Like, what the fuck? Like an actual side hoe. And she's happy that way. She's just waiting for us. Now, when I saw this, when I saw these tweets posted by Breaking Balldo News at Rekieta on Twitter, I was like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. If she's sitting in the house, holy shit, I'm seeing double. 4 Keanus. That's a scary pause. Oh my goodness. A singular horror of Lovecraftian nightmares. Hold on. There we go. All right. That's better. That's better. All right. Sorry, I got jump scared there for a second. It's Geno Vision. You dirty rat church builder. It's Geno Vision. No. So I saw this, and I'm like, this makes perfect sense because April's tweets are so unhinged that it's literally the mind of somebody who has nothing to do except sit in the boring big old house that just has everything. Like, you're in the house, everything reminds me of him. You've got the nose things everywhere. So every time she tweets, there's like little references to Nick, or it's literally at Nick. Like, if I go to the, like, for example, she wanted to post about Veterans Day. This is in the trap house. In fact, I think I know exactly where that is. If I go back, that's in the kitchen, right? So I guess she just spends all day sitting in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure I can find that flag. This is like a little scavenger hunt to see if we can find this one. Oops. Okay, come on. We don't need the animation. Let's suck and go. Let's go. All right, there we go. Pretty sure that's right over here in the like it's We got it, boys. We found it. What is that? A 0.3 second geoguesser? Look at that. Look at that. Veteran. She just posted this out. Bless this house. Oh Lord, we pray, make it through safe through the night. So like every time she posts inside the house, she must know. She must know that these are inside the second house. And like there's another one that I saw actually, which was kind of funny. Was she reposting these pictures from I guess this? No, it must be a different one. She posted, oh no, wait, sorry. It must have been from the Instagram. So see, April posted a few like disturbing tweets. This is one of them. But look at this. You'll be coming into a fortune. We're going to come back to this. Don't be too hard on yourself. We all make mistakes. You're a gift to the world. Share your light. But what is this? Enhance. YouTube lawyer. That looks vaguely familiar. So every time she posts, there's something that says that she's still in the other house. And yeah, the other tweet I had was I'll hang out with my bow for now. So all she does is sit around with weapons in the trap house, thinking about deer she can go hunt, and then wait for him. Check her phone. She's going through the doom posting loop, where all she does is look for deer and check for messages from Nick. It's weird. It's weird. But when I saw these like fortune cookie things, it kind of reminded me of my daily Simpsons quota, where it's like the fortune cookies, where Homer's going to cheat on might be cheating on it with Mindy. But it just reminded me of this, so I gotta play it because it's my special thing I do.
You will find happiness with a new love. Oh, even the Chinese are against me. Oh, what's the point? I can't fight fate.
Hey, we're out of these new love cookies.
Well, open up the stick with your wife barrel.
If only April got the stick with your Aaron barrel instead, or something. Or maybe if Nick, in fact, just had it. Those damn phony Chinese fortune cookies. But when I was reading these tweets, and I responded to this, I had one thought in my mind. I was like, so I responded and I said, like, kind of explains the erratic behavior to me. Makes someone depend on you, separate them from their friends and families, load them into your second bunker, and then cut them off emotionally. Real talk, is he using the Dennis system? And then the more I thought about this, Rekieta is literally using the Dennis system on April. Like, look at this. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with the Dennis system, it's like a very funny bit from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dennis is a parody of like a really bad guy, basically. So everything he does, he's not an example. You're not supposed to be Dennis. But his Dennis's system is, first, one, demonstrate value. Demonstrate value. What happened when the Rekietas met the Imholtes? It's like, whoa, look at me. I'm a big YouTube lawyer at 100,000 subscribers. I've got a nice house in the countryside. I've got a second house that you could go inside. I've got so many houses. I'm a big YouTube lawyer, man. Demonstrate the value. Got him. Engage physically. Well, they had the swinging hot tubs, the thruple, the cover, whatever it was called. So far, we're 2 out of 6. Or is it 7? No, wait, it's 6. Yeah, 6. Number 3, nurturing dependence. You mean like if you move her into your house, you get her away from her man? Does she have a job? I don't think so. She's literally dependent on him for everything. Everything. And now she's stuck in the house with no internet. When she needs to do a trial court date, she has to go to him to use his internet. She's completely dependent on him. 4, neglect emotionally. That's what we've been seeing on Twitter. That's exactly what's been happening. Nick cut off her entirely. It's insane. He was posting and not responding to any of her tweets, just ignoring her 100%. She's in the second house. She's out of the big house. Masa lives in the big house. You live in the second house. You don't get to talk to him. You have to wait. You have to wait for his tweets. Suffer, April. Literally neglecting her emotionally. Next point. Inspire hope. The last few days, the last week or so, Nick was saying like, oh, I wish I could be together with April. She was my girlfriend. We're broken up now. I want to be together with her. I could run away to Vegas and marry her. He literally inspired her. And then the last part. This is what's happening now, April. Separate entirely. Once that house is sold, it's over. It's over, girl. This is not supposed to be a guide. This is a joke. This is a joke, but he's actually doing the Dennis system on her. Does anyone else notice this? I was trying to think of like something before the show. Like I need to think, what is the Rekieta system? What is the Rekieta system, boys? I've got to. If you guys can think of funny things for the Rekieta system, then I'll add it to my list. But the A has to be alcoholic little bottle. So I've already claimed A. If you guys have some other funny ones we can add in, I might make this up for us later. But like going back, someone else, there was another fun little, like we had a fun little Ralph conspiracy theory. But looking at this nurturing your dependence one again, someone also reminded me today. I think it was on Twitter, right? And they said, do you remember that April had a speeding ticket? April had a speeding ticket. And who was her lawyer? Mr. Rekieta of rekietalaw. And how did he defend her on her speeding ticket? Well, he didn't show up. They didn't show up. They completely blew off the court. Why would he do that? April could lose her license if he doesn't show up. Wait a minute. April loses her license. If April lost her license because of Nick's negligence, then you're telling me she'd be trapped in this house? Not even able to drive? Not even able to escape? Trapped in the literal trap house? Where all she can do is sit, wait, watch TV shows, drink stinky well water that makes your bathroom look like the disgusting things, hunt for deer. So like this is the best like house pet side hoe you could ever have, because all she does is drink water and hunt for deer. So she's hunting for deer. She's on that lean meat. She's not getting that fat. She might even be on rabbit starvation. She's drinking water. She's going to be rail thin. And Nick hates fat people. And then whenever your wife falls asleep or your wife's taking the kids out to their violin practice or whatever, you sneak over to the trap house and you knock off a piece. This is actually insane. Like, this is actually deranged. I know I might be going too far here with my own headcanon, but this is some crazy shit. Hydration is important. Look, have you seen this house? I got to show you guys. Today I will remind them about the Lovecraftian horrors of the trap house. Now let me see if I can find my way back to the I think it was this way, right? As we go through, we'll do the ASMR or spooky let's play of the house. Oh no, it's right there. Ah! We found it already. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Son, what the fuck is this? It's the Indian bathroom? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jesus. Like, I've heard of some hard water, but that's some holy shit. Silent Hill? Yeah. It's rust water. This is all she can drink. And it's like, the thing is, there's a second bathroom as well. There's a second bathroom. Is it down here, I believe? Oh my goodness. I feel like I live in this house. In my mind chat, I still live in this house. It's still going on. But look at these dirty sinks. Look at that. You want $420,000 for this house? And then remember, we've got this. Oh no. Caress. Summer's Eve Spa. pH balancing shampoo. Stinky iron water vagina. Oh my goodness. Look, the bathtub is so disgusting that they had to blur it out. They had to blur it out. Some water. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, brother. Ooh, what's that? Oh, look, there's the 3D camera. That's interesting. It's kind of cool to see what they were using. Anyway, it's rough. It's rough over here. In the second house you can't escape from. All your day you're just walking around this house, going out to hunt for your own, foraging. It's the Hunger Games. But April thinks she's going to be top dog one day. That's why I have my concerns. That's why I have my concerns for Kayla. I think that like there's a less than zero possibility that April stalks into the big house one day and then just starts wearing Kayla's skin as like an actual skinwalker. I'm actually kind of concerned about that. Because she said that she wanted to be Nick's #1 girl. She doesn't want to be the side piece. She wants to be in the big house. K-Vibes with the 5 says, imagine getting Aaron's sloppy seconds. Yes. And I think that's his second or third wife as well. So it's like it's his second seconds or something. Trigger Rob with a 20. Big support for the show tonight. Says, howdy meme. Thank you for joining me on this rainy drive. Rainy drives are fun. I mean, depending on how bad the rain is. Like if it's light rain, It's so soothing just to listen to the windshield wipers and the rain falling on the windshields. Hope it's like that for you. Not too bad out there. That guy with the £5 says she's gone girling Nick, setting up pieces for the eventual someone help me. I'm fragile white young woman. His man has held me prisoner. That might happen. That might happen. Because we'll go back to this now. In the fortune cookies, look at this one. You'll be coming into a fortune. You'll be coming into a fortune. What could this mean? What could this mean, chat? Well, so as you remember, the body cam footage, which is the arrival's imminent. It's coming soon, boys. Josh Moon of the Kiwi Farms has offered April $6,000, which is the entirety of the money raised, that if April consents to the body cam's release, then she gets the whole bag. $6,000. April, if you want to escape this person that's putting you through this, you can start a new life for yourself by just signing over the body cam footage. And even though I don't think she will do that, here's a little tip for you, April. And like I said, she's never going to see this, so I feel confident saying this. But on the off chance that she does, what the fuck is this? Oh, I guess it's like a pop of a blender or something. And a whiskey glass. There's a whiskey glass in the sink. I didn't notice it's the first. This house is the house that keeps on giving. This house is the house that keeps. Look, they've got whiskey glasses there. 6,000 was for Kayla's copy of the body cam. I thought it was for April's. I'm pretty sure Josh reached out to April because there's no way to reach out to Kayla. But there's whiskey over here too. Like I said, I know this house very well. Look at that. You got to get the right angle though. I think it's this one. I think it's this angle. You can see here. Johnny Walker, 12 Days of Discovery to Nick. Oh, isn't that sweet? I'm sure that could be any Nick though. There could be any Nick that owns out. But here's the thing, April. If you want to escape this situation and start a new life, you can get the $6,000 to start a new life simply. But if you want to be in the big house, if you want to join Massa in the big house, you have all the power because Nick has put you in a position, or you put yourself into this position, where you are powerless and you have to depend on him. But you have everything you need to take control of him. If you tweet out, April, if you tweet out these words, even if you have no intention of betraying Nick, just tweet out these words. How do I get in contact with Josh Moon? You'll be sleeping in the Minnesota King that night. Kayla's going to protest. Kayla's going to put up a fuss, but you'll be back in the big house that night because Nick does not want that body cam shit coming out. So even if you start to threaten it, you have all the power. You can have that man dancing for you. All you have to do is tweet out, how do I get in contact with Josh Moon? You don't even have to follow up with it. You don't have to contact, you don't have to betray him. Just tweet those words and Nick will do whatever you say. That's the interesting thing about slaves is that they think that they're weak, but the slaves have more power than the master if they finally realize it. Well, I mean, yeah, she could join Mama JF in wait, I think I have something for this. I mean, you could end up, yeah, okay, there is this concern. That you could end up. He can't keep getting away with it, right? He can't keep getting away with it. Yikes. He's got another one. All right, let's continue seeing what Keanu is saying. Z chips, yes, you could be potatoed.
The thing that she told me was so annoying to me that he blamed her for. He said, do you know when somebody says it's not your fault, but it means it's your fault? Okay. The thing that
Oh, Nick is gaslighting her. It's not your fault that you're a dirty slut, but imagine my surprise. Look, April is one high-speed internet connection away and one bad day away from starting her own podcast where she just dishes all the gossip. She's going to drop everything. It's a matter of time. You can, here's the thing. April does have all the power to get Nick to do whatever she wants by threatening to release the body cam. But she's a ticking time bomb. And you can own, she's like what is it? April's insanity is like dealing with someone that's blackmailing you. If you give into the blackmail, the price increase. And in this case, the craziness increases. And eventually it'll reach a tipping point where love becomes hate. And I think we're very close. We're very close. April replied to Keanu an hour ago on Zeta. Is that true? I don't know. There was a fake April account as well. Someone was claiming to be. I don't know if it's the real one. If it's a real one, send it to me, and we'll see what it says. But I think she's still very much in the Balldo's iron grip, or rubber grip, I suppose, a lubed up iron rubber grip.
That she told me that he blamed her for was so heinous and so repulsive to me, and she was crying her eyes out and so fucking. This is not a good man. Does this seem?
I mean, it's like the classic love bombing pattern of abuse, right? Like you break someone down, you make them feel like shit, worthless, and then you're like, "Oh, I love you, baby. I wish we could be together. We could run our way to Vegas together. It'd be fine. It'd be fine." It's this weird cycle of I don't understand it because I guess I'm a normal person, despite what chat might say. But these sort of interactions are fascinating to me in a very weird clinical way because I could never imagine being in these sort of relationships. It's like complete anathema to what I understand is like a proper relationship. It's so weird.
Like a sober person to you, or does this seem like a clean home to you? I just would like you all to see. So
now also Keanu's going to go on to say that Nick's been skipping drug tests and he's been showing up late to them and that he's relapsed. After seeing this stream, I fully believe Nick's back on the bottle or he's back on something, whatever it is. If you think Nick's clean and sober, give us a 2. If you think he's doing everything again, if he's cracked open the whiskey bottles, give us a 1 in the chat while you're liking the stream. And yeah, let's see. How's it going, Third World Aristocrat? Good stuff. I'm glad to see you got over 1,000 subs, man. Good for you.
Does this look like a very clean countertop to you? And I understand you have 5 children. But does this seem like a sober person to you?
I have dishes behind me in my kitchen. No. Oh my.
Like, we have to shout out. Can we get a shout out in the chat to Alyssa Clips, the MVP that was able to reduce? Like, there's so many cuts in this that we don't have to. Like, every time there's a second, we don't have to listen to Keanu. Alyssa's edited it out. Way to go, the MVP. She must have listened to the whole stream. Oh my god, I couldn't do it. It couldn't be me.
Dishes? I don't have a child, okay? Let alone 5 of them. And I don't have a sister wife or like a woman that I let live in the house next door and ignore her until she finally says, "Hey,
Now, here's the thing. Do I detect a bit of jealousy, envy in Keanu's voice there? Well, I'm not a sister wife. Did she want to be? Because I remember calling that she was pretty buddy with Rekieta, wasn't she? And they were hanging out at the beach and doing all sorts of things. She could have been one of them. She could have joined the cover. She could have been in that big house with the dirty showers. And it already comes with the pH feminine body wash, right? So it's perfect for her. Beautiful. I feel like there's a bit of envy there. I feel like she's married now, I believe. Someone in chat said that she had more people at her wedding than in her live stream, which is very funny but very mean. But good for her. Honestly, good for her. Her and Gino married. Congratulations. I'm not sure you want to marry someone that does OnlyFans, but I mean, everyone's got their own things that they want. Apparently, they're friends with the toe again, but these people are snakes. Look, Aaron. I know Aaron's got his problems, but he can find better friends than these, surely. Speaking of which, a very, very reasonable name says Aaron is Nick's cum receptacle. Thank you for the 99 cents that made me read that. And Big Daddy Land with the 5. Oh, that's a cool, like a little Cyndaquil with a little t-shirt on. Says praying that Trump gets rid of women's rights. Keanu is proof that it was a mistake. Very funny. Very funny. She does OnlyFans. How? I mean, about as well as she streams.
fuck you.
I'm just telling you like it is. Okay? Look, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. You didn't have to tell me to fuck off, Keanu. It's fine. It's fine.
I can understand things being messy, but if I had 5 children that I lost because of my stupid, moronic shenanigans with guns, drugs, and said children, allegedly, and you got them back, and you know that people come and check up on your house, don't you think you'd clean up a little bit? Don't
I mean, maybe, but I think the thing that Keanu's missing here is that this is filmed. This is streamed at like 3 a.m. So he's making pudding at 3 a.m. He's lost control of his life. I think that the dishes, yeah, there's a lot of dishes there. But the fact that he's streaming at 3 a.m. cooking food is just bizarre. I know he's got like narcolepsy or something, but surely that should make it easier to go to bed. Like, your kids being away and not streaming should be the opportunity you need to reorient your life into a proper, like, go to bed at midnight, wake up at 8 o'clock or something. It doesn't have to be that, but 3 a.m., like when you stream, he's got like, you can see in the background, he's got like a Ring camera, like those like beauty cameras. And I've got some lights pointing at me as well. The light, it makes you wake up. So because I stream in the evening, I stream at about 9 o'clock my time. It takes me a while to get to bed because just the bright lights. So if you're trying to live like a normal life, like a non-vampire life, like you've got 5 kids to drive to like piano practice or some shit, shouldn't you just be trying to live like a normal person? You have the opportunity to reset your entire life. You don't have a 9 to 5 to go to. You could do anytime you want, technically, I suppose. But maybe you should knock off the 3 a.m. pudding streams would be my suggestion. More so than the dishes, which are a problem as well.
you think you'd get to drug tests on time or at all?
That's an interesting one.
So does this
Get your drug tests on time or at all? Has Nick been missing drug tests then? Or has he been missing someone else's drug tests? That could be interesting as well. Because Nick was on time to his own hearing. He was late to Kayla's hearing. He didn't show up to April's court case for the the speeding tickets. See, does Nick just care about himself? I mean, maybe it could just be bad luck. Maybe there was traffic that day. I don't know. Is he trying to get the women in his life into more trouble so that he has more power over them? I'm starting to suspect that is the case. He's just too busy doing what? Oh my gosh, he's just too. I know that's the meme. I know that's the joke that he's too busy. He can't do anything. But like, literally doing what? Literally doing what? He's not cleaning the kitchen apparently. He was 2 hours late for his drug test apparently. Was he out buying someone else's blood? Look, people are saying like he's got his drug patch on his arm or something, so he can't. There is ways to get around drug testing, okay? Addicts always find a way. I had a friend, and she loves cycling. Not cycling, not cycling meth through their system like Nick, but well, not meth anyway, but but no, she likes cycling, and she was a big fan of Lance Armstrong. And she would talk to us all the time about how Lance Armstrong is a god and he's not doing drugs. That's what makes it so impressive. And they have these blood passports where they check your blood every like week or something to make sure you're not on testosterone or whatever they were taking. Lance Armstrong was using drugs for 9 years before he got caught. 9 years. And he's a professional athlete where they have thousands of dollars going into checking them to make sure that they're not illegally doping. You think that one man who has enough freedom to make pudding at 3 a.m. in his morning can't figure out a way to take off a Band-Aid or replace it with a clean one? Like, let's talk about that. Like, let's be honest. Like, so he's wearing a patch, right? Like, I don't know how these patches work. This is just theory. Like, I'm just theory crafting here. So it's a sweat patch, as I understand it. You put the patch on, it absorbs your sweat throughout the week. Then you take that off, and that gets tested for drug use. Or whatever use, right? Couldn't you just buy these and then designate somebody as the clean blood person and just stick them on to like that person and then submit those ones? Nick is on Galaxy Gas. I'm wrong, apparently. Well, maybe I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm theory crafting. I don't know how these whatever drug test he's doing works. It's a withdrawal patch. A withdrawal patch. How does that work? But couldn't that work though? Like, wouldn't you just get like a clean person to wear the patch for like a week, and then when you need to submit it, you just switch the patches between your dirty one and your clean one? Like I said, maybe there's a way that doesn't work. I don't know. But I'm sure that if someone with this much free time could figure a way to get around it. I'm convinced that he's either drinking or on drugs again, just based on his recent unhinged rants. He's huffing Jankum. That's disgusting. Oh, dear. I mean, he's vaping. So Galaxy Gas can't be too far away, right? Kyle Crowden with $2 says, is embarrassment fetish compatible with narcissism? Perhaps. I definitely think that's the embarrassment fetish is a part of it.
Just seem like a person that is getting their life together just sheerly from what you're seeing right here. You can't clean up a little bit back here? Or are you so fucking high and a piece of shit, manipulative, awful, holier than thou, piece of shit? I mean, what do you not?
Is that it? Is that it? Is he getting Rama Rama, chat? Is he getting Rama Rama'd? Play the Rugrats clip? Okay, Keanu, we'll play the Rugrats clip. I assume this isn't the real true and honest Keanu because there's no C in your name. All right. We'll play this. Hold on.
Want your kids? Like, you're going live on whatever it is. You know this will be clipped, and this is how you leave your home. And you look.
There you go. If you're a local subscriber, you could expect 2 of these a month.
Stu, what are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
There you go. Oh, this is April. Wait, this is April. She's just watching TV and waiting for Nick to bring her the pudding.
Here's your pudding, Angelica.
Oh, that's okay, Uncle Stu. I'm not hungry anymore.
That's the second house. Check Discord. Okay, we'll check Discord. Hold on a sec. Just give me a second. Oh my goodness. When I find the time, I'm going to stick Nick's face on Stu. Maybe I'll even use AI voices or something. It's uncanny. I know it's great, isn't it? What is this here? That's the real Keanu? No, it isn't. That's not true. I don't believe you.
Look like this and speak like this. If you didn't know any better, this would be the only room. And this is a trailer and this is a person on drugs. Okay. And he's supposed to be, I don't know, doing something other than this. His 5 children are upstairs. Blow me.
God.
Check Carrier Pigeon. Why does Jim want on? All right, let's see. So Keanu just said blow me. Let's see what he says after this.
Sorry.
You should be.
I had government in my ass earlier, so that's cool. Not
You had government in your ass earlier. Did you make it to your drug test on time this time? You just don't give a fuck. It would be sad if you're watching this thinking, Keanu, this is so mean. This is a drug addict. Well, I mean, it's what it seems like to me. Get to your drug test on time. If you want,
like? All right. So if that is the real Keanu in chat, what do you mean by these things? Get to your drug test. Like, how many drug tests has he been skipping? What's the secrets? Dish girl, tell us all the secrets. Come on now, you got to tell everything. We want to know. Inquiring minds and all that. But it doesn't surprise me at all if he's skipping these things.
wanted to keep your kids number one, you wouldn't, have this shit going on. Also, I just can't imagine what they.
No, he loves his kids. What are you talking about? He loves those 5 kids. He'd do anything for them. Anything that isn't working, staying clean, or banging mysterious other women, or sending money to Jamaican pregnant women. He'll do anything to keep his kids. Just not that. I would do anything for kids, but I won't do that. There you go.
Of you, and again, I don't know him. I think I was on one stream with him, or maybe 2 streams with him. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt for my friend April. But get your shit together, man. I mean, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for your kids. I feel bad for your wife. But I don't know any of them. And I don't really know you. I know my friend April, who now has internet.
But the
and will
kids,
be starting a lovely podcast, I am sure. And
I want to know about this. So Keanu implies here that April's going to start a podcast. Is there any truth to this? Is it going to be the next Hawk Tour podcast, Talk Tour, but it's going to be April? What are they going to call it? From inside the bunker? And like, what is she going to talk about? The only thing, I mean, talking about Nick is a pretty profitable, pretty lucrative career choice. Instead of talking to Nick, which is quite the opposite. If you just talk to Nick, he just ignores you. If you talk about him, then people listen to you. It's the ape. Oh, we got to put the banner up. Yeah. Here's the Ape Escape. Let's go. Let's fucking go Ape Escape time. You do it. Make the... That's it. That's the podcast name, Ape Escape. Yes, you chat. You're right. Yes, we did it. Oh, my goodness. Kiki is not friends with April. Is Kiki Keanu? I don't know all the deepest lore of the Gianu House podcast, whatever it's called. The Toe Tour. That'd be good. That'd be good. I think Ape Escape is it. I think there's no... We're not topping Ape Escape.
The sky is the limit for her. They can't even get to a fucking drug test on time. That's the fucking thing, though, allegedly. All right. So what? Right.
These are really good, actually. The Camel Toe Morning Show. Holy shit. April Fools. Oh my goodness. These Talk Toa. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. How is life this funny? Holy shit.
Protect the children. They don't even go. They don't even care enough to go. You don't want them. Get sober. You don't want your kids if this is the way that you're going to stream. The government was up my ass today. Fuck off. Okay. Fuck off. I've always said this. What must his, teenage child think of him?
So, like, I can answer this question. Well, I can't actually, but I can answer what Nick would say. Nick is very happy that his kids know about him and all his weird sexual kinks. He talked at length about how disappointed he was in his own parents for not sharing their sexuality with him, which is pretty weird, in my opinion. I'm not sure I'd recommend that. Obviously, you should teach your kids about, safe relations and shit. You don't need to tell your kids that you're shaving your testicles so that you can slip a rubber band about them, or perhaps two, before you stick your balls inside your wife's anus. And vibrates with the Vibraldo. Now new from the Baldo company, the Vibraldo, the Baldo 2. Yeah, the kids don't need to know about that. But that is the interesting, well, not interesting as it is sad, but the eldest kids, I think by the time this is I think they'll probably be 18 by the time this this court case is concluded, actually. He's like 17 now. This could easily go on for a year, especially if Nick fights it and just becomes an absolute legal lolcow. Like the target of a legal lolcow, not like a lawyer talking about it. But because of the way that his kids are one of the oldest is like 16 and the youngest is like 6 or whatever, they have such a range of ages that they're going to be talking to each other about this and explaining it to each other for their entire lives. And I'm going to say it, you can't have these weird polycule relationships and raise a normal family. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have good kids or you can't raise, they can't have great lives. Like a flower can grow out of a pot of dirt. Happens all the time. A lot of great people had shitty parents. But stop pretending that this is an alternate or viable way to live your life, especially when you spent the last 4 or 5 years evangelizing the virtues of a monogamous, drug-free environment for raising kids. It's ridiculous. Nobody believes this shit, okay? Second house, how does this teach your son? Like, the son's the youngest, right? How does this teach your son how to treat women? Well, son, you gotta marry a woman, pump 5 kids into her, destroy her fucking body so you never want to see her again. Then you get yourself a hot young side piece. Then you put her in your second house that your parents bought for you. That's how you be a man, my son. Learn from my example. What does it teach? Incel prude. Yeah, it's the Scandinavian prudes. It's all their fault. Polycules contain poly-child abuse. I don't think there was physical abuse in the household. There was neglect, which I consider to be abuse. But when you bring in these strangers, they're people you don't know. They're people that could harm your children. It is a dangerous situation. I think the majority of abuse comes from these boyfriends or girlfriends of single mothers and fathers that bring these strangers into their lives and specifically these weirdos target people that that are like single mothers, especially because they want to get close to these people, and absolutely is just disgusting. And you don't know who these people are. And like, let's just reverse the thing. Like, so we're talking about Nick here. Aaron too is guilty of this. When he brought these people into his home, he literally said that Nick, this strange man, came into his house and then left, or a cocaine bullet fell out of his pocket onto the couch where Aaron's 3-year-old was sitting. So it's like, well, how does this polycule help people? How does using drugs hurt people? Well, like that. You just got lucky. Except, I guess, one of the kids in the Rekieta household didn't get lucky, and that's what happened there.
If you think that they don't know what the fuck is going on, Nick, get fucking sober, dude. Like, none of your friends are even saying that.
What friends? Ethan Ralph? Ethan Ralph with a kill stream? He's about to rat on you, Nick. You decided to surround yourself with these people. Who's your friends? What, Dick Masterson? He's just going to be laughing at you when you go to prison, or replacing Vito with you, and you'll be his new like designated fat ugly friend. Except you'll be skinny Nick. You'll be skinny Nick instead of fat Vito, whatever it is. What friends? What friends? Patrick Felton? Yeah, exactly. The guy that's like trying to come after Aaron's kids. That weirdo. Look at the people you've surrounded yourself with. Those are the only people that will stand you, and it's only because what they can gain something from you. Trucker Rob with a 5 says, as someone who grew up with a druggy parent, I ended up okay. Fat, lazy, driving a truck and listening to a dome expat. What do you mean dome expat? I'm not an expat. I live in Japan, but I don't consider myself to be an expat. I live in Japan at the moment. I'm not going to live here forever, probably. You never know, though. You never know. In Japan, yes. But we need truckers to drive shit around, so let's continue.
You're doing a good job. Best thing in the world to get their kids back.
Oh, that reminds me,
right?
actually.
And they're upstairs while you're tweeting in their filthy home. Good job, psycho. Is this something a sober person that is worried about keeping his children and making his drug tests on time? I'm not saying that I know.
What is this dumb
but
shit?
Next time that happens, allegedly, don't blame somebody that lives next door to you because you got into a fight over it because with your wife. But I'm just surmising here. I did not say that. I do not know that for a fact, but maybe don't miss your drug test again for your children, your 5 children, you religious bizarro. Nothing wrong with religion, but you bizarro fuck. I mean, this is very burn it all down. I know I'm going.
So when I saw these tweets, obviously there's very serious legal ramifications for these that we talked about earlier. But I think that Nick is just so coked out and he's got so many holes in his wet brain that when he saw if he's probably been watching them from the whole time, if he did actually have access to them, he just thought there was like a high school W. He's like, haha, we found like a funny picture of one of our classmates. He didn't realize the severity of this. And he deserves everything he's going to get. I kind of got a funny story actually about how far this story, like this is like an international story, the Nick drama. So I went over to Korea recently, and I was hanging out with Legal Vices and Legal Mindset, and Jeff and Andrew, and we took a picture together, which is fun. We had a great time. Jeff took us to a cigar bar, and we had grilled eel and also steaks. It was delicious. But I posted that to like my own socials. And somebody messaged me, like a friend from my past. Maybe I haven't spoken to this person in 9 years, so I hadn't spoken to them in a while. And they left a comment on that picture. They're like, "Is that the Legal Vices and the guy from Legal Mindset?" I'm like, what? That's weird. That like one of your friends from like years ago recognized these people. And I was like, well, this particular person, she lives in Korea and she speaks like fluent Korean. So I was like, oh, well, it makes sense that she would know them because Johnny Somali is in the news over there right now. And I was like, oh, you must know about them because of Johnny Somali. And she's like, yeah, kind of, but I'm mostly in for the Nick drama. I'm like, what? That's a weird thing. She's like, and I was talking to her for a while, and she's just like, Nick just needs to suck. Like Nick needs to get what is coming to him. She really hates him now. Because she started watching during the Johnny Depp trial, And she's now just following all the things that he's done. And she's just like, he just needs to suffer. Someone needs to teach him a lesson. I was like, holy shit, like this is international. Like everybody knows, like just some random person from the past. I was like, what the fuck? But it's good to relate to someone you haven't talked to a long time. Like that's the thing. I think with male friendships particularly is like you can have a friend you don't talk to for like 5 years and you just start chatting to them again. And you know, it's like it was like all the old days come back. Even though she's not a man. But, you know, that's what I feel like a lot of friendships are like. Anyway, that was kind of my thought when I saw this. And how's it going with TV's Will Heron? How's it going, my man?
Down behavior. Missed my final drug test, allegedly. Even Nick, don't message me ever again, you weirdo. Care about your kids, okay? Here's a paper towel. Here's some Windex. When you clear off your countertops and wipe them down, remove all of the hoarder shit on your countertops, and then maybe your kids will be around to cook with you. You make your next drug test. Just kidding. It's just a ledge. I never heard that from anyone.
Coming from across the yard to fuck.
Not across the yard. I mean, is it a pool house? I don't even think they have a pool.
All right, so Keanu's in the background. I'm pretty sure you heard him, but he said, like, where's this coming from? And then he shouts out, Nick is coming from across the yard to do drugs and fuck. And they're talking about the house here. So this is Nick's house over here. And this is the April containment zone. Apparently Kayla has kicked out the usurping woman, but she's coming for the crown. She wants to be back there.
The yard, honey.
Well, at least he's letting her come over when Kayla's not out of the house now, right?
I don't think we should ever do a cooking stream again. His was epic.
Oh, what a disaster. What a disaster. Now, I think, let's see what else we had. That was the original link. All right, give me a second here. Did that. All right. This was a fun post as well. I thought I'd show this. You fucking rat BP. Oh my goodness. Fucking. It's the ape enclosure. That's rude. That's rude. The ape enclosure. Free ranged. All the deer you can hunt and all of the yellow water you can drink. She loves it. Look at her. She loves it in there. The April separation zone. Fucking hell. All right. So, Broken Bulldoze News posted this. This is pretty funny. I'm monogamous. Reveals he fucks April. I don't know where April is. She's next door. I'm not on drugs. Keanu says you're missing drug tests intentionally. Tell me, rekietalaw, why should we believe anything you say over Aaron? And that's true, right? That's true. Aaron may be a bad guy. A lot of people have criticism of Aaron. I have my own criticisms of Aaron. But why would you believe anything Nick says over Aaron? When he's just possibly the most... Like, is there any other documented liar in history that's like this serious? I don't even know. Oh, dear. All right, let me have a look. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. There we go. I thought we've shown this one before, but I thought I'd show it again. And so Nick had hit rock bottom. Unfortunately, he brought a shovel. Seems to be the case. Now, there was some interesting side comments. So somebody said, Barnes weirdo. That reminded me of something. So if I go to... because we're looking at Nate the lawyer earlier in the stream. So I'm going to go to Nate's Twitter. And hopefully I can find this very quickly. Because I wanted to show it, but again, it was one thing I was unprepared for. Let me see. Oh, actually, there's some more tweets here that I missed before. But I'll specifically look for one. Because the Barnes Walker, he's in a hospital. Did you know that? So unfortunately, it's like when you're carrying something heavy in like a couch or a fridge, and somebody like lets go and walks away, it gets heavier for you, and eventually it's so heavy you pull out your back. And this is what the broom's like. The brooms are getting so heavy that Barnes pulled a disc or something. We don't know. But I wanted to show this. So this is Nate the lawyer, and he said, in regard to Barnes, I know we had beef, but I want to send the best wishes out to Robert Barnes, who is in hospital. Get well soon so we can yell at each other. Please send best wishes to Barnes and his family. And this is true. I agree with this. Even though I think that Barnes is an idiot, you shouldn't wish harm on people, even your enemies, because it's just internet bullshit. Like, if they're like real enemies that are actually shooting you or something, then that's fine. That's fine, obviously. But if it's just like some silly internet beef, just wish them friends, wish them luck, so you can yell at them again. You want to have them, like, to have the fun little arguments, right? This is an example of how Nick should have responded to Andy's tweet. Nick could have just responded saying, like, good for you, Andy. You're sober for a year. I hope you stay sober so that we can yell at each other on Twitter for the rest of our days. Instead of making an absolute buffoon of himself by wishing him death. This is how you do it. This is how you do a classy, hey, I don't like you, but get well soon. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. I thought it would show that, but I will go back because I noticed that there was literally another part of the thing. So when we were reading the tweets at the beginning of Nick, there was this one where he said, don't get high on your own supply. Nick says, rocket launching multiple people's careers into six-figure incomes. We read that one. There was a follow-up I missed. Nick, you didn't launch my YouTube success. It was the Viva Barnes and Frey. Stop taking credit for what they did. You know this. Remember, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Very true. Made you, Rat Nate the lawyer. You're sitting there with your Captain America shield. I made you, bish. You'd be watching. You'd have a garbage can for a shield if it wasn't for me. But no. It's important to remember that even people you disagree with can help you along your journey. Boot banging with a 2 says, I like you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I try and answer all of the messages I get, but as the streams get larger, it's a little bit harder. But I try and make it a good mix of reading as much samples of comments that I can. Let's see. Reptilian Richard Ramirez says, what's the Aussie culture shock like in Japan? I've never experienced culture shock. For whatever reason, I think it's because when I was a kid, I moved around a lot. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved every other year, basically. So I've lived in many different places, and then we also moved over to New Zealand, which is where Legal Mindset started defaming me, saying that I'm from New Zealand, which isn't the case. Legal Mindset, more like
legal mindset, legal mindset, legal dick suckers, more like it.
Yeah, he literally just says that to annoy me, and it's very effective because that's the one thing I don't like being called as a New Zealander. But yeah, no, since I moved a lot, I think that prevented me from feeling culture shock. But it may be that Japan is just a great place to live. Somebody told me recently that Japan is worse country to live in than India, and that India is the way of the future, and that India only has places to rise. A superpower by 2024, by the way. And Japan's just going down the toilet, like the streets of India. But no, it's just really comfortable living here. Everything's great. The price of living is actually very low. So it's a lot of fun. You save a lot of money because it's not what you earn. It's what you save. Like, let's say you make $1 million in super chats. If you piss it all away on coke and whores, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter. And let me see. People here in Finland know about Nick's Baldo bunker shenanigans. It's absolutely international. Yeah, I know. It's like this story went across the world. They're talking about it in Korea. They're talking about it in Finland, Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, even if that's a country. Maybe I think it's just part of America. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy how far-reaching that this man's shenanigans have gone. And I think it's because it's the classic story. People like to see the underdog succeed, and that's kind of how Nick started off. At least that's how he sold himself. He's just the simple underdog with a trust fund and a house bought from, a mortgage paid for, and school paid for, and everything. Uncancelable because he has all the money. But like, we thought he was an underdog, and he succeeded, which made him very popular. That's part of his rise to fame. He's a struggling, simple business owner who's succeeded in life, and he did it all in his own hard work, except for his millionaire parents with oil money that are literally donating hospital wings. That used to be the Rekieta name was known for donating hospital wings, and now it's known for shaving your nuts and sticking a vibrating phallus inside with your nuts included into someone's anus. Literal quote by the Baldo in chief. He said that the Australian guy, I don't know if it's actually Australian, said that the Baldo, it fits better in anuses than in vaginas. Because he's like, pussies, there's hardly any space in there, but assholes, there's loads of space to put vibrating baldos in there. Apparently, Nick really said that on the stream. Yes, don't forget to thumbs up. Thank you very much. But as much as where I was going with this is that as much as people love the story of the underdog, people love to see a smug person fall. Someone that's high off their own supply, getting their just desserts, because this is just desserts. Like a lot of people have talked about, or when I say a lot of people, I mean Nick talked a lot about how the government always makes things worse. The government always interferes. And I don't like the government either. I want the government to get the fuck out. But in his case, how has the government affected his life? Well, now, allegedly, he's off drugs. And now he's down to just one woman in the house. It seems like the government's actually doing a pretty good job getting him to clean his fucking room and wash his penis, bucko. But yeah, it's the smugness of it all, I think, that makes the story so outrageous. You have this man who's just smarmy and smug, and then he gets his just desserts, his comeuppance. And I think that's why this story is so addictive and so entertaining to people. Zadok Attack with a $10 says, please explain to this poor fool how you aren't a Kiwi when you all know Australia isn't real. Shit. You got me, I suppose. It's very frustrating because I only have my New Zealand passport at the moment. Unlike Ralph, who has lost his passport book, I just have the one now. I used to have 2 passports, but my other one expired. But I could get it any time I want because I'm not a wanted fugitive, which is a benefit for being able to travel and visit children that you have in other countries. Not that I have any children in another country, but if Christmas was approaching and I wanted to meet my son, for example, I'd probably need a passport. Is the trust fund kid arc? Perhaps. I don't know. Like the trust fund, I think people kind of knew about it. Because the trust fund was known that Ty Beard was the administrator of the trust fund during the Vic saga. But Nick would always say, I don't have a trust fund. And people were, at that point, believing everything he said. And I guess that's, again, another one of those technical true stories. Also, actually, that reminds me of something. Sorry, I'll just go back for a second because I kind of missed this. So, like, when Nick said, I don't know where April is, I bet in his mind, he thinks this is a true statement because he's like, well, I know she's in the second house, but I don't know if she's in the kitchen or the lounge. You don't know where your mistress is in your house, right? Like, you don't know if you've got bleach in your house. You don't really know. So technically, that was the correct answer. Just like he doesn't know how fast he's speeding. He doesn't know if there's coke in his house. You don't know. You just don't know. But, yeah, so Nick would say that he never had a trust fund, which I guess was technically true because he doesn't have a trust fund. He's just the recipient of a trust fund. It's his grandparents' trust fund. He just gets paid per child for it, allegedly. Is that why he's got 5 kids? Who can say? I don't think so. I think he just wanted to be like a quiverful family or something. But it was kind of funny that people kind of didn't really put that 2 and 2 together until like the Turkey Tom documentary was really when it really came to light. It's like, well, actually, this doesn't make sense at all. How did a guy with a house, no mortgage, 5 kids, quit working his day-to-day, his 9 to 5, and put himself through law school for like, what, 2-3 years? And he just could afford this all? How doesn't make fucking sense. Kayla wanted a big family. Well, now she's got an even bigger family. She's even got a large adult sister who might try and steal her place in the story. I think he's still got money left over anyway. But like when we look at the Zillow, I don't know. Would you buy this house? Would you buy? Like I think it's like the property itself is nice. The property is really nice. Like they've got these deer-filled woods. I'm not a big fan of the way that the grass like comes up the walls. That seems like a moist thing. I think maybe it's like a building thing for snow or something, or like it's a Minnesota thing. But the property itself seems pretty nice. You've got lots of trees, lots of deer to hunt. No internet access, though. That's a deal breaker. But like Nick's house got internet access. So why doesn't he just run a cable over there? Like they can literally fit. Like the house is right there. The thing is, though, I'm not sure I'd pay $400,000. And like the Zillow's estimate is down to $391,000. So this was originally $450,000. They knocked it down. They knocked it down to $2,500 off the price because they figured out that April was living there and it's going to take $25,000 off. But I don't think this is going to sell for a while. Although I was thinking to myself, that, like, if Nick is using this house as a way of controlling people, what about the family that lived there previously? Because Nick talked about this as well. He said he wanted to sell the house for a long time, but there was a second family living in there. Like, I think that they were doing with it was like kind of like maybe it was a charity thing or something. Was he doing it just to gain control over other people or feel good about it, or was like a family or something? He did kick them out. He kicked them out so that Aaron and April could move in, and they were supposed to buy the house. And also, a funny story about this house as well is that, like, when Nick got doxxed the first time, this was the address that they thought they doxxed him at, and he was like, "Joke's on you, Funimation and Okricon Studios," or whatever that thing that not Ron. Who's the guy that plays Vegeta's voice? Is the Vegeta voice actor, whatever. I don't know. He's like, "You guys couldn't dox me. That's not my house. Tee-hee, that's my old house." He was literally next door. He was laughing about being like not being doxxed. He was literally next door, which I guess is the cleverest place to hide, right in plain sight. Who can say? Who can say? Chris Sabat. Yeah, it was Chris Sabat. The Vegeta voice. That's right. You guys have better memory than me. Did I encounter any Japanese bogans? Don't think so. There's some homeless people in Japan, though. There's some smelly people too. Pirate Skeleton with a 2 says, "It's easy to have a lot of kids if you neglect them." That's a bit rude. I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, Nick always wanted to be a black person. That's the thing. That's the thing. He grew up around black people, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Texas. He said he loved black people. He loved black people. Black people are funnier than white people. I love black people. Well, now he's living out his dream, I suppose. Living it out. Living the dream. Good for him. Good for him. He grew up in the hood. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't you see his interview with Eric July? That was pretty wild. Pretty wild indeed. Alrighty. So, New Zealand Parliament suspended after floor-shaking haka by Te Pata Maori. The haka needs to end. Can we not do the haka anymore? It's okay to play it at rugby matches. Can you not do it every fucking where? Like, oh, we got to do another fucking haka. I had to do the haka once. It was really annoying. Very, very annoying. But what was I saying? All right. I'm just trying to change the customization on this thing. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, that's about all the content I have for today. I'm going to play some tax-free because we've got some very generous donations tonight. So we're going to leave on a tax-free note. But if you're going to stick around in the stream, I'm going to dump you over into Jeff's stream. He is doing the Liani Simon Day 2 Toddler in Garbage Dump Murder Trial. Go say hello to Jeff after the song. If you want to stick around for the song, that's fine. If you don't, then have a good night. Thank you for joining us. If you have any more, well, there you go. There's Sean in the chat right there. Look at that. Sean in the chat with a $2. Just $2. We need more, Sean. We need more.
Yeah. We need more. Yes.
We gon' buy.
Sorry, wrong one. There we go. We need more. But how's it going, Sean? Glad to see you doing well. But like I said, I'm going to head out. I'll play some tax-free. Would you guys like it? Then I'll dump you into the chat. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Peace, boys. How do I get it? Oh, and also thank you for the memberships. Thank you very much, Suki.
Cats flying in tornadoes. Gun flopping up and down. Let's get the guns out. Gun. Shake it around when it's tax-free. Wiggle. It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle, you best not fold the bullshit because these super chats, they all tax-free. Wiggle. Your faith, don't make me say it. Squeeze! Child support, faith, it's tax-free. Compass need, cause it's tax-free. That's right, bitch. Now kiss my Gucci hat. I said kiss it. It's authentic, bitch. It's time to gun out. Shake your gun like you mean it. Wiggle, wiggle. Welcome to the kill street. This song. Wiggle, wiggle. What you mean I'm drunk? I'm sober, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe one more. So take out your pill bottles and shake your pills and wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle! Wiggle, wiggle! Wiggle, wiggle! Wiggle, wiggle! It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle.